Hello and welcome to
OhPod.
I am your host Jordan, with my lovely wife Iman, also our host, and we have a special guest today, Erica McKoy.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, Erica.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very well.
Yeah. How is
I'm
it?
from West London, so this is a trek.
A trek.
Oh,
I
so
feel
sorry.
you.
But it's all good. Anything for your podcast.
Oh, you're so lovely.
That.
So, today we're basically gonna cover what Erica does, what she. I'll let you get into it.
Okay.
Erica, we're gonna start off with 3 things
Oh, go on.
about yourself that you feel like are your top qualities.
Your
Oh my
three
God.
favorite things about yourself. That's
Yeah.
what we ask every guest. So just want to start off with some positive vibes.
Okay, cool. I like my hair.
Okay.
It's like there's a lot of hair.
Yes.
It's big. I like
feel
it.
Yes.
And then I don't know. How deep do people go? Do they go like, oh, I like, my sense
It
of
could
humor?
be about your career. It could be about
Anything.
what you achieved in life. It could be about your personality. It could be about your physical appearance. About anything
Experiences,
that
anything.
you want.
Personality. I think I'm quite a happy person.
Mashallah.
Okay,
can see
I
that.
think I'm like, generally quite happy. I think that's a nice quality to have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also like very like, so okay, this would be my third one because I
Okay.
don't want to, there's, yeah.
She's like, I got so many.
No, this would just be my third one. I think I'm quite loving, but like, it can be like, I'm quite like deep in the emotions, like I'm like, I want to make sure everyone's okay. And that's how I am. So yeah, those are
I
like
like
my
that.
3 things.
I think it's a
Like an
really.
empath.
Happy, loving.
I feel like they
Is that okay?
are very cohesive almost. I like it.
Hmm.
It's a good start. Okay.
Hair, loving.
Are you doing great? Just started.
Happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us a bit about what you do, Erica.
So I am a radio presenter,
Mhm.
but I also run a company called The Grow Guide, which is all
Okay.
about growing veggies, and like it's about giving people a sense of independence and
Mhm.
like really learning a new skill. I feel like so many people don't know it's like quite a basic thing to be able to grow your own food,
Mhm.
and so I started The Grow Guide as a way of encouraging people to learn and get back in touch with nature. And there's like so many benefits to being in green spaces and nature. So
Mhm.
that's why I set up The Grow Guide. Yeah.
Love that.
Okay. In regards to the radio presenting, what
Yeah.
got you into that? When did you first start?
I started when I was like 14, 15. I went to a place in North London called the Roundhouse. They were great.
Mhm.
And I just I knew I wanted to get into radio. I just didn't know how. And I feel like so many places you'd have to be 18 or you'd have to have a degree.
Mhm.
And I didn't have any of those being like 14, 15. So I started learning, and like I realized I was kind of learning really quickly. And unlike school where you'd have to wait like until the next term to do your next paper,
Mhm.
and then you'd get a grade. With this, I knew every week I'd come back and I was like slightly stronger, slightly better. And then I don't know, I loved that. I loved the rush of it. And I loved as well, like, I don't know, how you have to just constantly be like engaged in it. You have to, your mind has to be there completely. You can't kind of be distant. You have to be like constantly thinking
Mhm.
and on your toes. So there, that's what I loved about it.
Can I ask who or what got you into it? Like, obviously you were quite young, so like, was there a person that was like, oh, you should try this? Or was like, how did you get to the Roundhouse? Because that's a bit of a...
Yeah, I guess I, like so many people, it was just like watching people on TV and listening to people on the radio and just being like, oh, that sounds like a great career. I went to a talk that the BBC did, and there's some really great people on the panel, and I was just like, yep, that sounds like my career. That's what I want to do. And so I just put my energy into learning as much as I could about it. So yeah, that was me.
So it's something you potentially could do forever. Like a
Yeah,
lifetime
I
career.
hope so. I feel like it's one of those careers where you can, depending on, you can kind of, if you wanted to be sort of an editor or a producer or even a presenter, you can do it at different stages of your life. There's like no age limit on it.
Mhm.
If I wanted to, say I was really old and not really old, but like I was like ready to retire.
Okay.
I feel like I could also, if I wanted to, edit stuff whilst I'm retiring. And so actually that's a really great job to have, because, you know, there's so many jobs that you can't do once you get to a certain age. Physically, you just can't do it.
It's like
whereas
a
I
skill set
reckon
you've got for like
exactly, yeah. So if I ever needed to when I'm older, I reckon it's a job that I'll always be able to do in some way. So yeah.
Okay. In terms of you said so you're a radio presenter and then you do the Grow Guide. How do you manage to juggle both of them? 'Cause some people can't focus on one business, let alone two.
That's true. My calendar is just, I block out everything. I'm like, I got to block out everything. I got to know where I'm going to be. Got to know what time I need to be there. And then I also use other like platforms like Notion and stuff where I just keep all my lists.
So
I'm like a
organized.
list person.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
I love a
feel
list.
That. Yeah.
I like writing down lists, like in, you know, with handwriting
and then on your notes as well.
But then I also like, there's something so satisfying about ticking
something up.
or like crossing it out, just like knowing it's done.
I did it. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the person with the colourful highlighters for each day. I'm
Nice.
like, yay,
Yeah.
it's done.
I like to be organised. We must be similar. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy that.
Tell us a bit more about the Grow Guide. If I wanted to, for example, start growing my own vegetables, how would I go about doing that? How easy is it?
It's so easy. It's so easy. I feel like people often think it's really nerve-wracking. They don't know where to start. You don't need a massive space. Like sometimes I'll kind of write about it on the website, but you can start with pots, like simple pots, or your windowsill if you don't have a balcony or a garden. And there's so many things that are so easy to grow. So herbs are really easy to grow, or beans are really easy to grow, and they're like big seeds. They grow quickly. The bigger the seeds, the quicker they usually germinate.
Okay.
So think of it like that. So if you've got a big seed, then it's probably going to germinate a little bit quicker than a smaller seed. So if you've got a chili seed, that will probably take a bit longer than a French bean. And that, I don't know, I find it so easy, and it's so satisfying when you see it come up and you've been the one that's nurtured it. You're the one that cared for it. You watered it. You made sure it was okay. You put it in the sunlight. There's something so satisfying about watching it go from like being really small to like really big, and then all of a sudden you're eating from it or like sharing it with friends. It's just, I don't know, it's really nice.
And you started this in the lockdown, I believe?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about that.
Started it during lockdown. Sat out in my garden. There was like no planes in the sky. It was during that time, right at the beginning of lockdown, when there was no planes going over people's houses. I live under a flight path. Oh. And I sat outside and I was just looking at the garden, and it was also a really hot year, like 2020. And I was looking at the garden and I was thinking, oh my God, like this is so amazing. Like I've grown all of this, and I wanted to somehow package it all into a box and just send it to people, which sounds really naive now when I think about how much it takes to set up a business. But I was just like, I just want everyone to be happy. I just want to put it all in a box and just like ship it off to people. And then I was like, okay, this is going to be relatively easy. I just need to find some boxes and this and that. And then I was like, okay, actually, no, this is a lot of work. Yeah, like getting an accountant, getting, researching boxes, everything's super sustainable as well. So everything's made from recycled material. Everything has been really thought about. The idea is that nothing in the box should really outlive me or like anyone I work with, because unless it's the plant. There's nothing in the box that's really plastic. Everything's been recycled. Everything can be recycled and compostable, and compostable at home as well. There's like such a difference between things being compostable at home versus like having it to like making it industrially compostable, because decomposing something industrially is like a whole other thing. You have to put it in a different bin. Sometimes you actually have to take it to the place. I wanted it to be so easy that you could put it in a wormery or like put it in your home compost or take it down to an allotment or give it to a friend that has a garden and they can get rid of it for you. So yeah, everything's been really thought about, and and therefore there's like loads of costs in that, and like loads of things that you like only come up after, and you're like, oh yeah, actually this is going to cost a lot more, or this is going to take a lot more time to produce.
So between 2020 and obviously now we're in 2022, it's been 2 years. How has that gone from like you sitting in your garden being like, I want to ship this off to people, to like your actual business now? How has it grown?
It's so people now have boxes at their own homes, and they grow their own things, and they take pictures of it, and I love it. And it's like, it makes me so happy. I had a friend who bought a box, and they'd never grown anything. They're not a gardener, nothing. And she was like, Erica, I don't want to eat any of this stuff because it's just so beautiful. And I was like, yeah, like it's amazing. I know the feeling, but you got to eat it. It's like the best way to do it. You just got to eat it, and it will be really delicious. So yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Any more questions, Iman?
Oh, that seems to be just run off for them today, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, it's just really interesting because like my mum's also, like, you've seen it on her windowsill, she has a tomato plant, just one, just little, and it started off so small and now it's like craning over. And then we went to the garden the other day, we were chilling outside and we just saw one onion, and it was apparently her little happy onion, like she just wanted to grow it just for the sake of growing it, and she just likes like the fact that she grew an onion, so I can relate to that.
So much of this is also really easy. Like if you have the end of a lettuce, there's so many videos online, you've probably like seen them, but like you could cut the end of a lettuce, put in a bit of soil, and then it'll regrow. Or like even a spring onion, you cut the end or you cut off the top and you put the end in some soil, and then it starts magically growing. But it's like, in many ways this is such simple basic skills that we should all have. And I really do think all schools should be teaching it, just because it teaches you so much. It teaches you like patience, it gives you confidence that you can actually do something, you've put effort in, and then you've got the independence. You've taken something from being like super small and you've grown it to being something really big, and the only person that's really done it is you, and like that's really powerful.
Actually, that's another question I have. Do you run this by yourself, or did you have someone assisting you? Like, because there's a lot obviously to do.
Mainly by myself, but then I also have someone that helps out sometimes. But during the pandemic, it was me and another person, and then they went back to work, and I was like, oh no, it was mainly by myself. But I think it's doable. If you've got a small business, I think it's definitely doable.
What motivated you to keep going? Like,
I think it's people responding and sending their pictures. That's really motivating. It's also really motivating when you get a bit of press as well. It's like, oh, okay, like
so
it's reaching. Real Homes magazine, like just basic like home magazines and gardening magazines. So it's very niche, but Real Homes magazine, Bloom magazine, and then when other small businesses also platform us, that's really nice. Because then we're like supporting each other. So
do you ever see yourself opening a shop?
I would love to open a shop. Yeah, I don't know where I'd do it, but I think I would love to open up a shop that I can do maybe workshops in as well, so people can actually come down on like a Thursday or whatever, and then we will grow, and then they can go off and take their plant. That'd be kind of fun. But London prices is a real thing, so it would have to be really thought about.
So if someone was to decide to purchase a box, what would they expect inside it? Like
inside a box, so there's 3 boxes. I'm thinking of maybe coming out with another one next year. There's 3 boxes. There's the sort of basic one, which is just seeds. So if you just want your seeds and you've got all your tools, you can have that box. And the second one is slightly leveled up from that. It's seeds, and the second one is the one that people buy the least. So actually I'm like, I haven't really packed that many second tier boxes.
Oh, okay.
But it's seeds and what else, and little pods of like soil, and which are like compressed, and then you put water in it and it expands.
That's pretty cool.
And then I think in that one as well there might be some labels, so you can like label your plants. And then the third one is the most popular one. I actually don't know why. I'm like, I don't know why this one works so well, but it does. It seeds, the pods, the like soil pods, the labels, and then there's this thing called a widger and a dibber, which just helps you like make a hole in the soil so you can put your seed in. And then it also comes with 4 3-inch bamboo compostable pots that you can, like, if you wanted to, if you were done with it, you could throw it in a home compost and it would just biodegrade. So
everything is like environmentally friendly.
Everything's because I was just like, what is the point? You know, like life is getting difficult for a lot of people. Why would I want to add to this? Why would I want to add to the pollution? Why would I want to add to, you know, the climate crisis? I want to do something that is beneficial, and that you don't, when you're growing your own stuff, you don't walk away and feel guilty about it. I want you to garden guilt-free and just enjoy it, and then eat from it. Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna have to purchase a box. Because I've been meaning to do my garden up, and I just look outside and I'm like, you know what, it'd be so nice if we grew some vegetables there, and if we had something there, and I just look at it and I'm like, yeah, then that's not
special discount, of course.
Also, everything's seasonal, so every month we'll change the seeds depending on the season, so that it works perfectly for like the UK weather. So you'll never get like a box that is perfect for the summer in the winter. It just wouldn't work. So yeah,
so a lot of thought goes into each and every.
A lot of thought goes into it. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, thanks.
I think we've covered everything and more.
Nice.
In terms of
is there anything else you'd want to say? Maybe that you just want to put out there, give people knowledge about.
Check out the Grow Guide. Since we're talking about the Grow Guide, check out the Grow Guide. And yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming.
Honestly, it was amazing.
Great.
Thank you for listening to
OhPod.
I've been your host, Jordan, along with Iman and our special guest, Erica. More episodes to come.